All right, we live. Yep, bros could check it. Make sure we rolling. Hey, shalom, shalom. Shalom. All right, we brothers here from the Gmsatl camp. All right, also we have with us a special guest. All right, the elder Gmsatl from the LA camp. That's right, with us out here to do the work. Fellowship, Lord willing, this is a edifying lesson. Okay, but of course, before we begin this lesson, we want to give all praises, all glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ba'ashem. All right. Also, we want to say double honors to our apostles, the elders of Great Millstone that do rule and teach well. And as always, peace, salutations, many blessings unto the elect of Israel scattered around the four corners of the earth, giving all diligence to make that call and election sure. All right. As you brothers and sisters can see on the screen, the title of this lesson is going to be dealing with this is a high-profile calling. Okay. And as you know, we've been called out of darkness into his marvelous light, and the Lord has opened our eyes to be able to see the earth for what it really is. All right, everything makes sense now. Okay, from the food that we eat to the people that run this society, we know exactly the condition of what's happening to us, and because we've been called out of that darkness into that light, these top elite on the left-hand side, they look at this as a high-profile calling, as we should, okay? They don't take this lightly, all right? They don't want us on the corners. Even the lesser luminaries, man, these lesser demons out here, they don't want to see us out there, okay? This is very high-profile. This is and the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, he hadn't fully opened this thing up yet either, okay? This truth is going to get more exposure. It's going to grow even more, okay? So this is a high-profile situation you're dealing with, and when you look into the word profile, it means a side sketch, or it also means an outline of something, okay? And when you deal with an outline, how you draw the outline is you draw the main subject, and then you make little bulletins under that particular topic, okay? Well, this is a high-profile one, man, all right? They're not just sweeping this under the rug. They see these camps popping up. They see all these different bodies of men on their street corners in their inner cities, and they're trying to figure out how to effectively come at this. Okay? Because the apostles years ago did a video, and in the video was Apostle Gabar speaking, and he said that High Priest REI had mentioned a story about a limousine pulling up in front of them at the camp. And some Edomites jumped out the limousine and said, "How did you guys find this out? How did you figure it out? We spent billions and billions, which they spent trillions of dollars. They said we spent billions and billions of dollars trying to hide this from you." And he said they jumped back in the limo and sped off. That goes to show you the magnitude of what we're preaching and what we've been called to do. Okay. So, without further ado, you want to speak on this, please?
Nah. We just roll right into it.
Gosh, we can jump into that Philippians 3rd chapter, start about the 14th verse.
Get that. Is it Philippians 3?
Yep.
Give it one second.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Yeah, Philippians 3rd chapter, about the 14th verse.
Best choice of Mark. That's what we want.
High column, what's the high column? Yep. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
You want me to read it? Or?
Yeah, you got it.
I was already
Spirit. Philippians 3:14, it says, "I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai."
Yeah, you see that? It didn't just say a regular calling, it said a high calling, man. This is an exalted calling. Okay? We got called from the heavens, but we didn't physically hear it. We didn't hear somebody calling us behind our back. We heard a calling from the heavens that woke us up through whatsoever avenue the Lord decided to wake us up through. Okay? With some brothers it was the Illuminati, some brothers it was the chariots, You know, some brothers it was by word, but whatever that calling was, it was ordained and sanctioned from the heavens. So what Paul was saying here was, I press towards that mark of the high calling. What is that mark? The mark that you're pressing towards is salvation. So this is a high exalted calling, man. Okay?
Right. Verse 15 it says, let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if in anything ye be otherwise minded, the Most High shall reveal even this unto you.
Absolutely. You know, so the Lord saying, hey, walk like you got some sense, basically.
Right.
You know, walk like you in a high calling. Don't treat this truth like you working at McDonald's, man. Okay, or like you working at some just rinky dink, business. This is a high calling. This is a very high profile job, and treat it like a top Edomite CEO would treat his job. You know, he come in there every day smelling good. You know, hair, on point. Which we ain't talking about the physical, but the spiritual, right?
Right.
Being on point in the spiritual. That's what Paul's saying. You know.
Something quick, Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do with thy might. But there's no work, no device, no knowledge, no wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. Like you said, we take this truth serious and treat it like like you said, like an Edomite CEO would treat his business, or whatever he's got running. And basically is put forth to the plow to do the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So we got to do it with all our might and not with, a slothful or slack hand.
Yeah, right.
I got you. This is 1 Peter 2 and 9. And it says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye shall shoot forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into the marvelous light. And well, like going into the lesson, the scriptures is laying it out here that the members that are called in to do this work, the prophets, are a chosen generation. All right, and it said a royal priesthood. So, and when you go into that word royal, it basically means regal, which means in order. So this thing is well set, a well-oiled machine here. Everything is in order. Where everything is set out. It's not just, the menorah is not just thrown over here, and the Torah over here, and, everything is in a proper order, according to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and so is the men. All right, so like you said, it's like, many are called, but few are chosen. So, we're in that calling place, and, and treat it like you would if you go back in high school and retry out for your respective sports team. You're gonna go and give it everything you got, because this team you don't want to get cut from. Getting cut from this team means you're gonna have your part with death in that lake of the fire. So this cut, you just don't go home and go get you a summertime job and forget about it. No, this cut, you're gonna be cut for real.
Like you're just gonna move on.
Yeah, you're just gonna move on.
No, you're gonna have demons trying to take you out. This ain't no low level thing that we entered into, man. We entered into Yahweh Shai's labor. And the Lord be damned if we come in here playing around with his sacrifice and what he died for, as if it was just some insignificant moment or insignificant deed that he did. That was the top thing that any man on the face of the earth ever did. So he said, if I call you into this, you better act like you know.
I got something for you. Good? You got it? I got it. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, starting at 1. It says, and I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of the Most High. For I determined not to know anything among you, save Yahweh Shai HaMashiach and him crucified. And that's what we do when we push this word. We ain't coming out to declare nothing of this world, but Yahweh Shai, man, and him being crucified to bring Israel back to the Father. Right? And it says, and I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of the Most High. Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. Going back to what he said, what is that? I left off at 15. Let therefore as many, Philippians 3:15. Let us therefore as many as be perfect, be thus minded. So everybody that hears what the prophets are speaking, and what we pushing out on the streets, they're perfect in the eyes of Yahweh Shah.
That's right. Just think about just to add to what the elder was saying. In the scripture speak about that him that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. Because this is an upscale ministry, and those individuals that learn this truth and subscribe to this faith, Esau looks at them as a direct threat to his enterprise. So this has to be high profile. He looks at us as terrorists. He looks at us as a a threat to his new world order.
Extremists, he calls it extremism. That's the what, like me and the bro Albert was going into that categorization, man. That's what he do with Jake. He put Jake, he plastered Jake all over his media platforms, and he said, all right, this is one category of extremism. This is another category of theft. Another category of Jake is a thug. So he categorized us and put us in these pockets to accuse us of being a low-level people, when in all actuality, the Spirit of the Most High rested upon us.
We didn't go to school, right? Like vocab. We didn't go to no seminary school or none of that to get this. The Spirit gave us this. That's what got Esau mad the most. He can't control it. He can't control it. That's why, like the title, this is a high-profile call. Esau can't control this. He wants to, but he can't. He didn't call us. Yeah, he didn't call us. He can control all those guys who got his hand in his back. Gave him that bag. But the true servants ain't no control, because this is all the demonstration of the Holy Spirit, man, through wisdom. That's right. Let me see this out real quick. It says, howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world. We didn't go to college, get no doctorate, divinity degree, or any of that madness.
Theological school.
Right. It says, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught, but we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which the Most High ordained before the world unto our glory. So every member of the elect that get this, man, that's the perfect that we speaking to. This ain't for everybody. Everybody can't get that high paying job. Only if you qualify. You have to qualify for birth. The Lord had to give it to you. You have to be set up in the Spirit.
Yeah, that's why Yahweh said unto them, they asked why he spoke in parables. He said, unto you it is given, unto them it is not given. So just like you said, it's really only because it said the mysteries. And that reminds me of Amos 3:7, the Lord reveals his secrets to the servants and prophets. I got a quick definition. I just Googled high profile, and listen to this. It says a position attracting much attention or publicity.
Hey, well, the Lord said He made us a spectacle unto the earth. So when we at camps, in our respective camps, whatsoever we are throughout Babylon the Great, or wherever you at in the world, you getting heads is turning, man. Everybody on the streets about to crash. You're like, no, get a grip of yourself, man. They looking at you and turning around. The passenger just fucking all the way where he's supposed to be up there. He all the way looking at you, man. That's because you're high profile. They trying to figure out,
what is it?
What are they doing? Right. Why are they not smiling? Why is there not a white man over there regulating what they're saying?
Right. Yeah.
They're trying to figure out exactly what we're doing just by a visual, when you can't get it off a visual, man. Right. Because faith comes by hearing. You know, you got to go.
That was it, but I got a precept to back it up. Proverbs 1:20. Wisdom cried without, she uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief place of concourse. Yeah, which, that word high profile meaning, causing much attention. And like the brother said, we do cause a lot of attention out there because we're out there in the chief place. We're in the gates of the city, basically, basically saying death to America, man. Which the scriptures also say, the righteous shall stand in great boldness among such as that afflict them. I keep going though. It says, in the openings of the gates in the city, she uttered her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in the scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Yeah, so the point being, that this is a thing, like you even mentioned the media. And Esau puts Israelites out in the media and everything, so it's grabbing much attention. You even have certain celebrities, Kyrie Irving, you got
he knows this thing. Yeah, he want to say it so bad.
He can't, because if he said he's gonna get ousted. Yeah.
This is Ephesians 4:1. Therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. So, this vocation, which we looked at word of, it means an invitation to really embrace the salvation of Yahweh Shai. We've been called to actually get saved from this condition we're in. So we have to walk worthy of that. We have to show the power of the Lord to teach it, preach it, bring it in the elect. Because the Lord, He's building up, like Brother was saying about being high profile, like a business. So this is like building up a high profile level business that's going to be pushed out here through the whole earth. Come on. So we have to make sure that our worthiness, our work ethic is on point. That's why, being diligent is important.
Communication is key when you're handling business. You got to communicate.
All of that,
You got to know the policy within the company. If you're working for a high profile company, you're going to need a dress code. And what's our dress code? It's spiritual. Ephesians the 6th chapter. The whole armor. The Lord said you got to be girded with the whole thing. In the spirit, the preparation of the gospel of peace, the helmet of salvation, the shield of faith. Okay? So you gotta be hook, line, and seek in this calling, man. Hey, a lot of these CEOs, man, of these high profile companies, that's their life. They don't look at that as a, like, this is my job and then I have a life. Like, they're in a high profile company and that is their life.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
They make their life out of their passion.
Yep. So we have to treat it as such, and especially like the scripture said in 1 Peter the 3rd chapter. Especially as you see the day approaching, say what manner of man ought we to be in all holy conversation and godliness. Like the brother said, hey, walk worthy. Walk worthy, man. The Lord called us from a dark, desolate state, man. Brothers was into all kind of different lifestyles and relationships, and the Lord called us from that madness. And He got us, cleaning our act up, edifying our people, building up, the nation, prophesying, shaking the hand against a great kingdom. You gotta walk like you mean business, man.
It says that you walk worthy of the vocation wherewith you are called, with lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. And there is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called, in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one power and Father of all, who is above all, and through all, and in you all. So this calling is in you, and you're going to walk it. You're going to do and show the world that light. That's what we're going to do.
And that's the epitome of unity. It speaks about one calling, one baptism, all these different things. And one is never divided into two or three. That's the highest profile, that it can get to, man. When there's a certain code of ethics that each and every man that comes into this ministry has to follow. You can't sway to those. You can't act nor take away. You have to come in, under the spirit. That's
The other way, you're thief and robber.
more.
Yeah.
I got one, real quick one. This is Sirach 11:1. And it says, wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of a low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. Well, that's, as scripture said, the Lord, gave this wisdom to a specific group of men, which are the prophets. And that wisdom is going to be able to, when we were speaking before we cut the camera on, our forefathers were great men, and that the wisdom that Yahweh Shai gave them helped them sit in high profile positions. That's right. When you read Ezra was dealing with Artaxerxes and, these different great kings. Paul was dealing with all of them, it's endless amounts of men we can name. And they were dealing with Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph.
They dealt with high profile individuals in history. Not just, Pookie at the gas station. So just because at a moment it may seem like, we're going through the motions of, camp and teaching and a few views and things of that nature, we're coming behind great men doing great works.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so it's going to lead to these same situations that the scriptures speak about, where it's going to have you sitting among great men. And through the Spirit, I'm sitting amongst great men as I speak. But it's going to level up to, we're going to sit amongst great men of the other nations as well, and show them that the true great men are the men starting with of Yahweh Shemir Shah.
Yeah, the scripture say that we shall go up to the gates of no.
We like a sign to the world. We're a sign, like a literal sign. That's why when you were speaking earlier, Jake, you driving by, the next break into, damn near crashing when they see us out there pushing this word, because it's something to be in awe at. Like, hold up, it's a sign. Yeah, we truly are a sign to the people out there, man. That's why they can't really put their finger on it, what it is, but what it is, it's the altar back to the Lord, man. That's every camp out there in Babylon and around the world is the altar set up for you to get back to the Lord. That's it. And that's the spirit. That's what I'm holding. And those are signs, man. We literally are us being out there in the midst of all the people. It's a sign.
Yes. That's the heaviest sign. Also, that the scripture say, thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
Yeah.
But then he said what? He said Israel looking for a sign.
Yeah.
But they shall not receive a sign except for the sign of Jonah, which we know that's going into Yahweh Shai being resurrected on the third day. But also what comes with Yahweh Shai resurrecting on the third day is the camps. Yeah. That was a prophecy, man. Yeah. The camps popping up all throughout America was a prophecy. John was writing about the little sanctuaries, man. Yeah. And these little, it tells you about the space of 350 years that we've nourished from the face of the sun. Meaning we come back to Yahweh Shai. And a part of that prophecy was the camps, man. So this is big boy, that was a big boy move in the spirit that the Lord did, man. Islam ain't got camps. Christianity don't got camps. 5%ers don't got camps. We the only so-called group or belief system that has a group or a body of individuals consistently on the corner speaking. That's top dog. That's top notch. That was a top notch move in the spirit, man.
Yeah. Like you said earlier too, Esau know we ain't gonna stop. We ain't gonna stop. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Yeah, ain't no stopping.
Right. And Esau looks at this like an anomaly, man. We're looked at as out of the norm. When you look at these different cities that brothers, set their camps up, Chicago, California, New York, a lot of those areas were infested with gang activity. Esau never would have thought, like you said, going back to what Apostle Paul, with that actual spiritual men would come up that standard, like the other said, in front of their enemy. With some good chapter. I got a quick precept. You done with that?
I was on like
No. Proverbs 8 and 15, I'll start at verse 14. Counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. By me, kings reign, and princes decree justice. By me, princes rule, and nobles, that's that high profile, is that old word, yep, nobles, those that know. You look at nobility, that's the highest echelons of men. You know, back in the ancient world, you had men of wisdom, you know, so-called sages, certain men or philosophers. That was the apex of men. And see, this world has been so rearranged, dealing with Isaiah, where it speaks about Esau turning things upside down. You know, he turned, you know, he put the lowest of the nations and the lowest of our people to the top. It's even written, I think, in the book of Kings, where he started to do that at that time. You know, say he started putting the lower ilk of Jacob, you know, in positions of power, and the ones that actually was, you know, of the wisdom, actually was studious, he started to, you know, break them down lower and lower. So I'm going to continue on. It says, by me princes rule and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yea, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. Yeah, and it don't get no higher than that. You know, the Lord said his revenue, well, this is the true revenue. This is the money. It's above gold and silver. It's above tangible objects. And you can't put a price on this truth. That's why, you know, you can't, you know, Esau can't buy us out. Right. Because this is invaluable wisdom. You know, it doesn't have a value. You can't say that wisdom is worth $2.5 billion, 3.7. There's no net. You could actually capture the price tag.
That's why the men of old couldn't be bought out. Because the truth meant it costed way more than a dollar amount, man. You know? I'm gonna get this quick precept real quick. So like this in Psalms, the 2nd chapter. 1 second. I might be Proverbs. Give me 1 second.
I can throw some in the meantime.
I got it. Oh yeah, yep. Proverbs, the 2nd chapter. Dealing with what the brother Barzal just spoke about with you know, with wisdom. This is Proverbs 2 and 4. I'm gonna start at 3 though. It says, yea, if thou criest after knowledge and lifteth up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of the Most High. So the Lord was comparing the search of wisdom to a search of gold, man. Hey, what happened in Cali years ago? Everybody was flocking to Cali for the gold rush.
Right.
It was different. Niggas coming from Texas, you know, the Midwest. Everybody was going to Cali for the gold rush, man. Trying to come up. Well, that's how the Lord comparing the truth, man. You know, search for it, seek it out, go get it. If you search for it, how you search for silver, and it's a very extended process to get gold and silver out of the earth, man. You got to sift it, wash it, you know, the whole process. But that process pays off at the end, and that's the wisdom. How you think these CEOs get to that position? Okay, they seek out, they go into the company and they be very innovative. They be on point. You know, they always in the meetings. They always pay attention. They doing things off the clock.
They dedicate their whole life to it.
You know, I got a quick precept. Matthew 13:44. Hey, go ahead, brother. You got it. It says again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in the field, the which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath and buyeth that field. You know, and that's, you know, the sentiment of what we do. You know, the Lord has opened up our minds to it. This is it, man. Everything else is second nature or second to this, should I say. You know, high profile, right, you know, don't get no higher than this.
They don't.
I got a definition. Just a quick definition. Under the term noble, it says belonging to a hereditary class with high social or political status, aristocratic, having or showing fine personal qualities or high moral principles and ideals. Of excellent, with the word excellent goes to excel, you know, or superior quality, a person of noble rank or birth, and it goes back to the Latin, which means highborn or noted, you know, and it also goes to the term to know, you know. So it's, you know, scripture speak about, you know, the chosen seed, the ecclectus, you know, the church of the firstborn.
That's right.
No other nation has got reserved that right to be called by those titles. The Lord said, I call you by my name. That's Israel, the prince of the power. And even though we fell from that divinity, we're still the Lord's chosen.
Absolutely. And we've been called back to that first dominion, you know, through this word, you know. So you got these jakes that come into this thing, and they be acting like they just working at a rinky-dink job, you know, missing camps, late to camp, don't do no lessons, don't fellowship, don't really be in this, like it's a burden, you know, like it's a burden to be called out of the world. You know, like the Lord called, like the Lord did something wrong to you. Right. That's how Jacob come treat the truth. Right. Damn, why I wake up, man? I don't do all this. What? Like it was a bad thing that the Lord woke Jacob, man. And they come into it with that jet lag spirit, man. Right. You know, I need my Saturdays, man. You know, you can't treat. Hey, that's why, like what the elder had brought out earlier. You know, it said that, hey, let this same mind be in you. You know, we pressing towards a mark of a high calling. So basically, act as if you've been called out of all kinds of sins and transgressions, and you got the opportunity to make it right. We all got the opportunity to make it right with Yahweh Shema Shai. It just takes diligence, man. Okay? The Lord wants to see who wants this thing, man. All right? I know that, you know, for brothers that play basketball, you know, I make a lot of basketball now, you know, me and the Rockets out, but when in the tryouts, man, the coach, he do little drills, he do things to see who really want it, man. He might make you run an extra suicide to see who really want it. You know, he might see who there early, who working, and who over there laughing and playing. You know, he watching everything because he want to see what? He want to see who really want to be on his team. And this is what we're doing now is comparable to tryouts, man. Okay? Because the game ain't started. The game kick off when all hell breaks loose. You know, that's when it's gonna count, man. Because you ain't gonna afford to be able to slip up. One slip could cost you your life. So the Lord giving us a great opportunity to take this serious, so that when the game kick off, then you gonna know exactly what you gotta do. You know, so this needs to be taken deadly serious, man. You think the elite playing with their new world order? They trying to get it done. Hey, Psalm 64. You know.
It's 1 Corinthians 7:17. But as the Most High hath distributed to every man, as the Lord hath called every one, so let him walk. And so ordained I all the churches. Yeah, so, you know, it says the Lord hath distributed to every man, which is what? The Spirit. Everyone has their portion, you know, and everyone is supposed to carry their own weight. You know, like the brother said, you know, don't treat this, you know, like it's just a secondary thing, man. This is primary. And that's what it said, as the Lord hath called everyone, so let him walk. So you're supposed to walk, and, you know, like you appreciate this calling, man. Like, you know, the Lord basically bestowed all these things unto you, you know, wisdom, you know, which is far more valuable than anything. So we should, you know, value that and actually show the Lord that we appreciate this high calling and high profile mission. You know?
Absolutely. It's book of Baruch, chapter 4, verses 27 and 28. be able to comfort all my children and cry to the Most High, we shall be remembered of Him that brought these things upon you. It was your mind to go straight from the Most High, so being returned, seek Him 10 times more. So we understand how far we fell as a nation, as people, and different, sins we committed in our past life, as a nation. Now the Lord has basically granted us this second lifeline, so to speak. We're supposed to go hard, man. That's right. Not treated like you said, treated with a sense of like not, a lack of care and but that's because Jay don't understand really like the storyline of our people, man, how far we fell away from the Lord. Now the Lord basically got the Heavenly Father's ear, of course, through Yahweh Shai. So now why not? Now's the time to slack off and treat the thing like it's, part-time job at Burger King. Yeah.
Right. It's time to go hard.
Yeah, seek him 10 times more.
Get this disenchanted,
Right.
Developing an evil eye towards the brother,
Right.
envying. Envying another brother, that scripture say you ain't supposed to judge another man's servant.
Right.
If a brother getting busy in the faith, who are you to come envy what the brother's doing? They ain't serving you, how about you know what?
Right.
You gotta come, hey man, this is one of them jobs, man, you gotta come correct, man.
Yeah.
This thing ain't, because you got certain jakes out here, they working these certain jobs, and they whole fucking premise is to try to take the person over them job.
Same time.
This ain't one of them type of things, man.
What's the new 2, 2/3 gonna be destroyed forever?
Oh man,
That's an example of them trying to come in, proclaim like they got it.
Something new.
Usurping authority.
Usurping authority.
Yeah, this one of them things where hey, you get in and you work your work. Like the scripture say, work your work 3 times, man. You're supposed to be getting busy in what the Lord called in your space, man. Like a cubicle, man. In your cubicle, you shouldn't be leaning over somebody else's cubicle like fucking dude off the home improvement.
So you won't even see nobody.
The nosy neighbor. Man, that'd have been my neighbor, man. We'd have some serious problems, man.
And if I can say this too, just back up on that point, just about Jake envying one another, you're not supposed to have that attitude. You're supposed to want to see everybody win and be in the spirit and
Right. I got some on that.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 5, it says, "For we preach not ourselves, but Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the Lord, and ourselves your servants for Yahweh Shai's sake. For the Most High, who commanded the light to shine out of the darkness, have shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of the Most High in the face of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." All right, it says, "But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us." So Jake, that's trying to come in here and take, be that guy. You truly don't understand what this is, man. Nah, because this ain't about none of us. It's about the preaching of Yahweh Shai, man. We what's the word? Heralds. We heralds to Yahweh Shai, man. We all saying the same thing.
That's right. We're gonna see it manifest when it speaks about us being joint heirs unto Yahweh Shai. Right now, we're joint heirs unto the sufferings. We get looked at like lowly Negroes on the street corners, bums. Paul spoke about the defamation, but after the defamation, is going to be the glory.
That's right. So this is a mindset of a person that's working in a high profile environment, man. How you supposed to think? You can't take, fucking Jay Sean out the corner and slap him in a meeting with top executives, and he's gonna be in there acting like a nigga.
You got to start at the middle. You got to start at the bottom.
You got to start at the bottom and learn the company. They got to see his work ethic, his knowledge, portfolio.
Right.
How serious is this guy? Then you got certain jakes be coming in like Charleston, Charleston White. This guy said, "I sue every job I get." He just come in and just straight be a nigga on the job, man. That ain't how you do it, man. It's high profile. It's big business that we working, man. That nigga's funny, man. You got.
You made a point about in Proverbs about the value of his word. Well, when you read James 5, I'm going to read it real quick. James 5:1, it says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl, for your misery shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten." And like how you were saying, you can't put a cause. See, we know through the Spirit, through the Scriptures, you can't put a physical value on the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But Esau thought he could. That's why he made that statement, several decades ago, that we spent billions of dollars, which we know today is definitely trillions of dollars. But your money is corrupted, and it's never going to, even if you spent $100 trillion, the Lord can always trump you with wisdom.
Absolutely.
Because the scriptures say what? The Lord's wisdom is as living waters. So you can never, it's corrupted, and you're going to howl behind it.
That's right.
Because you printed up money, you've stolen money, you've deceived people, you've outright just stolen just everything you could to do what? Keep that gross darkness on the earth.
That's right.
And suppress it. So when you realize you failed, you're going to howl, and you're going to cry out, because it's like, damn, no matter how much I threw, it didn't matter.
And you know what, too, I gotta add to what you're saying. Esau is realizing that what we're saying is what he should have did. So now he's one of them guys on the job that feeling like his job is in threat. Because somebody on the job that's just doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Right.
Esau, because he forsook the laws of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But we the ones like, hey, Lord, we'll do it. We'll do it how you said do it. And now you're like, oh, no, you guys can't do it like that.
Yes.
So he's gonna eventually try to do what? They try to assassinate your character, man.
Right.
They're just like Kwame Brown, man. They assassinated his character because he wouldn't do what? He wouldn't follow the agenda and what they wanted to push from him, man. So they pretty much assassinated his character. But that's what Esau wants to do. He see that we like, no, the land's supposed to be kept like this. This not supposed to be happening. That's not supposed to be happening. And he's seeing us saying that, and it makes perfect sense to him because he knows science.
Solomon said, he was made to reprove our thoughts.
Yeah, he was made to do that. And as he's seeing that, he's not taking it lightly. He like, man, they pretty much trying to get in the power seat, man. They ain't trying to just, hey, can you stop? And this ain't no civil rights. They're like, they want the power. They talking about putting us in slavery. They talking about doing everything we doing. Oh hell no! This is big boy stuff.
If I may say, as we get closer and closer to the end of this kingdom, the scriptures speak about follies is going to increase and sin. Because why? He knows that our connection to our power is by us keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. So he's going to try his best to what? Increase the birth of this place, increase the gladness of this place. Increase that grand circus.
See the league came back.
Yeah, the league came back. You can go to the game and forth. Hey, here in Atlanta this weekend, hey, all the pools is going to be back open. You can go to the pool for free. And that's just on a low level. Across the board, he's trying to raise that folly because he understands that when we're in that folly, mirthful spirit, and we're disconnected from our power. But when we are in that focused, serious mind frame, and the law, statutes, commandments is in the forefront, the frontlets of our mind. Everything. He can't play with us.
Can't play with us.
We're not playing.
Right, because he know we ain't playing.
Right, and through the Spirit, when he shut the world down, it backfired on him.
Yes.
Yes, it did.
That's now you got all the athletes like Kyrie. Everybody know about this Israelite thing. It's true. Everybody knows now. So now he got to throw all the folly back out there to try to rock Jake back.
Give you money and give you money to do the folly. Because before he wanted to keep you poor with the folly. But now, no, let's give you $500 a month. Let's give you PPPs and everything we can to make sure you can finance the fuckery.
By then, he got to rock Jake back to sleep. But that's because why? Because Esau wouldn't be doing the things that he's doing if he didn't have somebody on his heels, man. See, the Spirit got us on their fucking heels. Literally. They do something. Something happened in fucking 10 minutes. A brother doing a lesson on it. 5 minutes. Oh, we about to dissect it. When the Capitol riots went down, Esau couldn't even get that past Jake in over a week. The devil that's a psyop, man. That was set up. So Esau like, we can't do shit no more, man. Okay? So that's what we're doing, brothers and sisters. All right? By us waking up and calling on Yahweh Bashim Shai, he's putting more of his spirit into us to bring down this establishment. Remember Ephesians, it's like the 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, it says the weapons of our warfare are not carnal but spiritual, mighty to the pulling down of strongholds and bringing into captivity every thought that exalts itself over the Hamashiach Yahweh. So that means anything that's not of what we're doing is going to be brought down. And they know that. They know that, and they're treating it like that, man. That's why the Lord said, hey, give diligence to make your call and election sure, man. Okay? Because if we give diligence, he's not going to allow this devil to be able to do what he's always been able to do with us.
That's right.
There's going to be a blockage in that attack, in that advancement, man. Because he's going to come. He's going to be back against the wall, and his last option is we got to shut it down. And once they do, because we haven't initiated any carnality with these devils. Right. So once they initiate carnality, that's the game. That's what we play. We sit back like the kings on the chessboard, man, waiting for that initiation. Once that advancement comes, the spirit gonna move, man. Okay? So this is high profile, man. This is very, very top notch, energy that we're pushing. It's coming straight from the third heaven. Straight from the throne of the Most High, man.
Right. Just to add to what you're saying, a prime example on a movie, which we've all watched, is the movie The Matrix, man. They were moving like they were high profile. They knew that they were a threat to the system, and everything that they did, they knew they was walking on eggshells. They knew not to hit the highway. They knew to run from the agents. They were moving like sheep. And I seen this Jake make a video, and it was a beautiful point where he said, you got to move like you're being hunted. And I was like, yeah, that's 100% true. That's how you got to move in this truth, man. Like, because it is somebody that's after our lives, literally. We're sheep. We're sheep. And this devil on the serpent, and he's the wolf.
Yeah, so we vigilant. Yep. Like the average does one mind seeking to like, yeah, I think like, yeah. I think like crazy. Well, yeah, it was going back to how basically wisdom is priceless. It can't be bought. Wisdom Solomon 7 and 7, I'll read the 9. It says, wherefore I prayed and understanding was given to me. I called upon the Most High, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. I preferred her before scepters and thrones, and esteemed riches nothing in comparison of her.
Yeah, because if you give a fool $100 million,
right,
it's just $100 million, and it's just looking for a way to disappear. But if you give $100 million to a wise man, he's gonna put it to action. So wisdom is all a matter of your thoughts. That's why we're concerned with the thoughts. The thoughts. Our thoughts are after the thoughts of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's why, again, we understand money. We understand what money is. Like Apostle Tahar did a video recently about gold and silver is true money. We understand these concepts. We understand your money is fake. We understand that your system is bubble gum, it's corrupted. It's a facade, it's smoke and mirrors. So that's why we don't, you're not gonna hit us with a I give you an Escalade, all right?
Yeah. Right.
You're not gonna hit us with that.
For the COVID, that's a new thing, the lottery.
Yeah. They're saying, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. And we're not looking for stupid prizes. Our prize, the prize that we want the prize that Yahweh Shai gave. We want that Psalms, the 2nd chapter. We want the heathens as our inheritance. What you have to offer, it's like you got to be long. But when you have an Edomite woman and she might look at you like you might want to steal a purchase, it's like you get offended. Yeah. Because it's like what you have, I don't want. I want you. And I don't want you in a sexual way. I don't want you in any type of way. Like I want to possess you to do my will. To rule over you. So the idea that you think I want your purse or your little Kia Sentra,
Right.
I don't want that shit.
Right. Want to live in your neighborhood? Hey, Jake, you can get to a point. You don't want to live in no goddamn Edomite neighborhood. Right. Because Esau, he's through. That golden cup is being found out to have all kind of gunk and bullshit in it, man. Nobody want to be around that shit.
That's what you would go. Just play.
Yep.
You know.
Golden plate.
I got something that
Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 16:16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. So it's better to really get the understanding, starting with the wisdom of the Lord, right? Because it's, Scripture says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So getting that, and in turn, everything else is going to come to you. Okay?
I think Theodore Roosevelt said a thorough understanding of the Bible is better than a college education.
Yeah.
And he's 100% right. You know, and he's an individual that more than likely, went through the American school system, went to college, has different degrees,
He's an enlightenment.
Huh?
He's an enlightenment.
Yeah, the so-called lesser luminary, and he said it in amount of nothing when compared to this book. You got priest.
Yeah.
And as you was reading it made me think of, back to the high profile point. When you have these individuals that are part of the CIA and FBI and these different, alphabet groups, they're high. That's a high profile position. And those individuals within those, they don't just go around and just tell you who they are, what they do. There's certain things within their job systems or their titles that what do they say? It's the same. If I tell you I gotta kill you, just to give you an idea of how high profile that is that they just can't let the information just leak to any Tom, Dick, and Harry within the city street. And even within the truth, we go out and we talk this word, but to the world, we might as well be speaking classical Hebrew. We might as well be speaking a language from 2,000-3,000 years ago because they don't receive it, right? So it is like, as a matter of fact, it's the same thing. If we tell you we have to kill you, a lot of people are going to be killed because we told you.
Hey, well, the elder brought the scripture out earlier where it said, we speak the word of the Most High in the mystery.
Yes.
So a lot of the things that we say is common to us because we say it. But when we say Jake, y'all know what Jake means. Right. When we say Khan and we say that they through, finish, Shalom. When we speak about we talk about chariot. We say chariots. Jake don't know what a chariot is, but this is the wisdom of the kingdom. Yeah, the kingdom. They think that the kingdom is being in the clouds, just bouncing slowly off the clouds. Right. But really the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures is high. This is high profile words. Yeah. These ain't just some nigga that wrote a little bootsy letter to his cell block, man.
That's why the scriptures say that this book was sealed with 7 sides, roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah.
7 seals. That's how confidential.
Yeah.
That's how confidential the understanding of the word of the Lord is that it was sealed with only one person that was not, that the scriptures say that there was nobody worthy in the heavens or in the earth, under the earth. But Yahweh Shai was the only one that could open it. So you got to have the key. You got to have that, how like in Mission Impossible, how, they would give Tom Cruise's character the glasses or something to see it, the goggles to see it. Well, this is a confidential thing.
Yeah.
That's why this calling is like you said, the highest calling there is that you could ever get on the planet Earth.
That's why everybody can't come into the Illuminati. Every Edomite ain't welcome. You got to be of a certain stock. Because you got certain Edomites, if they bring them into their secrets, man, the Edomites going to expose the whole goddamn thing. Just like they doing now. That's right, they're doing now. They're doing it now. They telling on one another.
Which really that's the spirit of the Lord.
That's right.
I got you.
No,
you got
you got more freestyle? No, you got it.
All right, this is Zephaniah 3:19. I started verse 18. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you, For I will make you a name and a praise among all people
That's right.
of the earth.
Hey, but the only way that the Lord would be able to make us a praise and a fame is if we stand for what's written. Because the Lord's not going to make us a praise and a fame in the land. You know, we doing wickedness.
Right.
You got niggas like Lil Baby and fucking, you know, all these rap niggas, you know, 50 Cent. The world still look at them like niggas. They, even though they got a level of fame, or they got a level of, you know, stature, notoriety in the society, these nations, it could be a poor Chinese man that don't know 50 Cent from a can of paint and still look at him like a nigga.
Exactly.
So that's why the Lord is only going to be able to give us praise and fame in the land, because why? Because we walk in the law, statutes, and commandments of Him. That's why He said, "This is your wisdom in the sight of the other nations."
Right.
How we move. Okay? See, Jake think it's all about having the flashy cars and the diamond rings and the bad women. The other nations don't care.
Pretty shoot, man.
You know, the other nations don't give a damn, man. The other nations don't give a good goddamn. But when they see us with big beards, when they see us eating lawful and clean,
And on regal state.
they see that we have a level of comprehension that's above theirs. That's how we get the praise and the fame, man. Not being a nigga doing donuts in the Hellcat, man.
Yeah, and we ministering, you know, off top. That's the number one thing, ministering the word of Yahweh Shema Shah. Because even the nations be amazed when we be out there. They look at us in awe, you know?
That's right. I got something real.
It says, at that time will I bring you again in the time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and praise among all people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, says the Lord.
That's right. You know, so there's gonna come a point in time where these other nations, they're not gonna look down on us. They ain't gonna be able to look down on us. All right. Like the scripture say, one of the persons was that the heathen. So excuse me. It says that the heathen shall get up on thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. That was one of the curses. But the Lord said He's going to change that. So when we're in a higher position than them, they can't look at us. They can't look down on us, man. They might not like what's going on at the moment, but they would not be able to look down on us, because why? Because we're going to be in the seat of power. Okay? We're not trying to form an alliance between Esau and Moab and Ham and Japheth. That's not what we're here to do. We're not here for a ceasefire. All right, we're not here for peace talks.
Rainbow Coalition.
We literally want to dominate the planet Earth. That's what we're saying that we want to do. That's our position. Okay, that's why we're ministering and we're serving Yahweh Shema Shai, and that's why we're prophesying and we've dedicated our lives to this, because the ultimate goal is we want to be the rulers.
That's right. Okay,
that's what we want to do. So these other nations, they ain't looking at it, and they're not, you know, taking this message like it's a patty cake, man. You know, they setting up concentrate. They want to get you chipped. We ain't trying to chip the world. They want to chip you. Okay.
Well, only our people are the only ones really that takes this lightly.
Fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
the other nations, even if they are in the lower state or whatever, they're fighting teeth and nail to raise up in that, and they want their portion of that. Right. See, nobody wants. See, Esau's fooled you people being the fourth beast and being more diverse with this idea of a democracy. See, that's where he fooled you people with, man. Equality and civil rights and shit like that. But in all actuality, no nation wants to rule evenly. That's not what any nation wants. Ham wants to rule the world. Moab wants to rule the world.
Yeah.
Esau wants to continue to rule the world.
Well, you hear China, man, China popping big talk right now, man. Yeah. They said, man, if America make any type of advancement towards us, that'd be the worst move that they ever made in their life. And we already know China is technologically, China is way more advanced than that. They're way more advanced. You know, and Russia. We can't forget about the bear. So we dealing with the Game of Thrones right now, man. But we the only nation of people that's fighting without actual weapon.
We are, what's this dude from the show, Snow? We the Snows in the Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name? Jon Snow?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the unlikely, those that ain't supposed to happen, but it's really ours.
Yeah.
You know?
It belonged to us, and the Lord got it set up that hey, we gonna be the only nation to fight this world war, because we gonna be in the final battle for the throne as well, but we just won't have any weapons. You know, because hey, we gonna have to. The Lord gonna put the spirit on brothers to stand, man. You know, this ain't the time to lay down, man. This ain't hey, the Lord raised us up. This is the time to stand up. So they said,
Saints will take the kingdom.
that's right. It tells you in Revelation, the 11:5. It says, great fear fell upon them because they stood on their feet. Man. It's a time to stand up, bro.
Stand stiffly. Like second Ezra says,
So this book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes 11:5. So many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of had worn the crown. You can apply that to us. All right, we really. That's why I know we got the house of David. Because that's David's story. He wasn't looked at as one that's being the king. It was his brothers.
yeah.
You know, they said, "Well, don't look at his stature, what the Lord give. Don't look at his countenance." So we come in that same state, man.
It's an underdog story.
Yeah.
The greatest underdog.
And one thing about it, one of the strongest armies to ever be on the face of the earth was the house of David. They was getting busy back then. Dominated. They wasn't no game on the battlefield. The Lord raised those same spirits up. But he raised them up in a lot of the prophet right now. But that's still the same house of David, man. That was that they say King Saul slew tens of thousands. King David slew tens of thousands, man. King David and his army, they was one of the greatest armies to ever walk the face of the earth.
Individual men, individual men, you know, if you read an account, they killed hundreds of people.
At one time, one man did it at one time.
Abishai.
Yes, Abishai, yep. Naya. Oh, you even in the book of Judges, you had what was his name? You had Samson who slew. Well, how many Philistines was it? Like 500?
800.
800. Then there was another one in the book of Judges. I think it started with the ox gold.
Oh, you talking about
Shamgar. Yep. This is what this is the capabilities that we had before we fell from our power. So the Lord raised these men up again. We just don't got the weapons like these other nations. We gonna get down how we got down back then, man. The Spirit of the Lord. It was the Spirit of the Lord that was using us on that battlefield, man, to do what we did. And that's coming back, man.
In the spiritual battlefield, you don't need those weapons.
You need
got the wisdom of the Lord to fight with.
That's right.
This is our weapon. The scripture says in Ecclesiastes that our wisdom is better than weapons of war. And it's even written, teach Judah the use of the bow. It's not talking about physical now, but that still applies today. What's the modern day bow? This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Knowing how to use this word as a spiritual projectile to pierce the enemy, man.
Yeah, because we projecting it out, we pushing it out.
Pushing it out.
And it's hurting Esau.
It's hurting.
But Esau, he ain't a spiritual man, so he can't, like Apostle Ramla did a video the other day, it was entitled, you can't hit what you can't see. You know? You can't hit what you can't see. See, he getting blindsided. Every way, bro. Brothers, the Elder Shaquat did a video the other day, and brothers doing all kind of videos and lessons and on locations, you know, praying, chanting Babylon. They don't know Esau can't hold this.
Chariot sight popping up too.
Yeah, he can't corral this.
Too much.
You know?
Too much at it.
Mm-hmm.
Back against the ropes.
That's right.
I got one real quick. 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the power, through the Most High, to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach, Yahushua.
Yeah, we become a thorn in the side of Esau.
Big time.
Pulling those big strongholds down. Now you're seeing a lot of people don't want to get jabbed. Man, you know, a lot of people are really believing in these so-called conspiracy theories. Everybody's a so-called conspiracy theorist now.
Right, yeah.
Well, brother, if I may, I
Oh, yeah.
was thinking earlier, protesting. You know, the spirit of protesting and standing up. You know, where like I remember years ago we used to say all the time. You know, well, brothers used to say, the heads of the brothers used to say, you know, we've been protesting Trayvon in the spirit of Trey. You know that spirit.
Yeah.
When people were starting to get that spirit of protesting and going out, that started roundabout with Trayvon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Trayvon, they would go and the groups would fall asleep, go back into the world, go to work. We've been out here every week, multiple days a week, before going, and then apostles and elders since Rodney King and so many different individuals. So you know, here we are today. You know, what's the biggest one? You Palestinians, you Elamites. You Elamites, where'd you get this spirit of protesting and standing and going to different? Like I was driving a kid, you know, Woodrow Park. Where did y'all figure out that these corners, at these parks, at these places, we're going to protest and we're going to do this? Y'all got that starting with Judah.
Yep, that's true. These other nations wasn't never in that spirit.
Because they was eating with Esau, but now Esau cutting them off from eating. That's what the whole pandemic was about. But we stayed on our post the whole time. That's right. You know, the whole time. While everybody else was in the house, we were still out there.
And these other nations want to cry wolf. Want to cry wolf and then think they can jump shit. And we supposed to be like, y'all stop this. Hey, man, fuck y'all too.
Straight up.
You know, you ain't gonna cry wolf on us, and then you know, cause the other extreme on your ass, they gonna try to jump over here with us. You didn't, you know, belittling us, selling us into slavery like we supposed to just pick up when you say pick up. Y'all don't stand for Jake, man. You know, so we dealing in the thing where it's like, hey, we setting ours up, man. Our people, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native and Seminole Indians of the elect of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's our main concern, man. That's our focus, man. Everybody else get ready to get put down. Even 2/3 get ready to get brought, like the elder just brought out, into the obedience. The world just need a heavy dose of obedience.
Yes.
People do not know. If you look at how people talk to people and communicate and how they move, they just don't know how to be obedient to nobody, man. Okay? It's a world full of spoiled brats, man.
No correction. There's
Okay.
no correction.
That feels entitled to everything, that needs everything instantly given to them at the moment they request it. There's zero accountability, and they just feel as if they shouldn't be obedient to anything but themselves. See, we're coming into a time where the Lord is going to exalt every single imagination that's not of His. Every single one, including white supremacy. Okay? Including black culture. Including Palestinians being in the land. That y'all getting up out of there too. Okay? So Yahweh Shema Shai ain't playing. That's why he's setting up high-profile spirits, bringing them together from all kind of walks, like brothers been born here, born there, bringing them together in a high-profile spirit, congealed in the spirit, to reclaim what's ours, man.
Right.
That's what we're here to do. We ain't here to play no games, man.
And collectively check down Babylon, like when you read in the book of Joshua, when they was checking down the walls of Jericho, you know, they constantly was shouting, and the vibration, the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah rested within them. You know, they went around
6 times.
and the 7th day, I think it was
One
13 total.
time for 6 days, and the 7th day they hit it 7 times.
7 times. So that 13th time, then what? Great was the fall of Jericho. This is going to be just like Jericho.
Yeah.
You know, from those men that's coming in unison, pushing this same vibration, blowing that spiritual realm.
Renowned men.
Yeah, but now you remember the account with Gideon and 300 soldiers.
Oh, yeah.
You know when they had the lamps, and when they shouted the name of the Lord, and they trembled. The other nations trembled. See, that's the spirit that the brothers is coming in, man. Okay, we looking at this thing through serious lenses. When we wake up, the first thing popping in our mind is hey, what lesson I got to do today? Thank you, Yahweh Shema Shai. You can't even help but to look at the world through the lenses of what's written in the scriptures. Yeah. That's because we ain't playing no games.
That's right.
Yeah.
We putting on as the elect. We ain't just talking the talk. We actually walking this, man.
That's right.
You know?
Judging everything throughout the day. That's right. You know, can't help it.
Yeah,
Can't even help it.
yeah, we do the same thing.
Yeah.
I got a quick one.
Okay. Jeremiah 20 and I just get to the point, verse 9. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name.
But frustrated.
Yeah. But his word was in my heart, as a burning fire shut up in my bones, and I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay.
Yeah, and that's that passion.
That passion.
Today, you know, he had to fulfill the word of the Lord. He had to speak, he had to teach, he had to condemn when necessary, he had to comfort when necessary, he had to prophesy, you know.
And he felt the gravity of this truth. He understood clearly how this truth affected everything in his day-to-day endeavors.
He had a high calling, so he had to actually embrace that and put that spirit out there.
That was the main point.
Yep. Jeremiah 51 and going into domination. Jeremiah 51 and 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kings.
And you know, if you watch them, not to cut you off,
yeah.
when you watch the top secret movies and you got the agents, and they always got that one weapon, that high profile weapon that's in the suitcase. And they get, you know, got like 10 locks on it. Clicking it, and once they whip that thing out and screw it together, it's getting ready to do damage. That's Israel, man.
Yeah.
You know, Esau is the Lord's weapon on the left hand side, but really the real power of the Lord has been seen on the right hand side. That's where the true power of Yahweh Shema is at.
Because the Lord says on the right hand.
That's right. It's more. The right hand side is actually more powerful than the left. You know, so that's comparable to Israel. Battle axe and weapons of war. That's that secret weapon, man, that the Lord got, that the other nations ain't even considering. They can't even train for what the Lord is going to do on the right hand side because we don't even know what the hell we're going to do. Right. The Lord ain't shown. Right. We can only really have a figment of our imagination on what the Lord is going to have the elect brothers doing. So the Esau can't train and prepare. Shit, brothers don't even know.
Well, because the Lord said that that the elect shall change in the twinkle of an eye. Yeah. There's not been a time on the planet Earth, even when we speak about King David and the mighty men, it was a different time and era, but they were in his flesh. They were just, you know what I mean? They were regular Israelites. But this time that we're going into, you can't train for men that's going to change into something that we really don't even know what they're going to change into, and be this divine blend between extraterrestrial and terrestrial and spirit in the body. Like how do you go to a 12-week boot camp for that?
Yeah. I can train to fight against that.
1,000 push-ups. Yep.
That was it.
We're gonna go ahead and hear some closing precepts.
Just on what was called Proverbs 22 and 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. Yeah, so us doing this work, being diligent, continuing to gain wisdom and knowledge of our side. That's putting us in a position to actually sit amongst great men, go before the nobles like we read earlier, and really be able to speak on world policy. Because once Esau's taken out of the way, which he will be, we're going to be sitting amongst each other. And Yahweh Shai, King David, and Israel's going to rule again. So us doing this now, with this high calling and growing more and more, we're going to get to that state to where we're not just going to be mean or secure men, we're going to be great.
And that word mean in that scripture goes to insignificant. Because the men that really get into the spirit of Yahweh Shai, this is like you just said before, it's nobility, like the blue bloods, the upper echelons. We don't kick it with niggas on the block, man. We don't have time for that bullshit. Excuse my French, but it's the reality because this is a business.
Yeah, when you see a group of niggas, you cross the street. You You don't try to frolic here. You see a couple niggas today trying to sell water, them windows are rolled up high and tight, man. You know, ain't no games being played. We can't, you know, congregate with that type of energy, man. Because it's high profile, man. You know, just like when you have a CEO of a company, when he come into the building, he go right to the upper echelon. He don't come walking through the warehouse talking to the through the operation of it. You know, he go to the big wigs and they have meetings and communicate. You better not walk in that setting.
Right.
You know, so that's the same thing with us. You know, you see the little niggas over there. You know, like I said, man, we pretty much find a pocket or a corner and we lodge ourselves in that area, man. You know, but Jake ain't dealing with what we dealing with, man. They not on his vibration. They dealing with a low vibration, low profile. He did, like I said, I was saying earlier before the camera cut on me, the brother I was talking. Hey, we was like, man, they ain't spending billions of dollars on fucking on Snoop Dogg case.
Right.
You know, that wasn't no high profile case going up to the Supreme Court. You know, or any of these other niggas for that matter. Right. You know, Bill Cosby. You know, spending billions on his case. They spend billions hiding what we speaking about, man. Right. You know, anybody have anything else? All right, time.
I got one too.
Okay.
I'll be
What? You want to go read it?
It don't matter.
Okay. Well, you can get it close.
Read.
Okay. Yeah, this is James 1 and 20. Yeah, 21. Wherefore, lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls.
And that's what it's about, getting your soul redeemed out of this hellhole, man. And that's the best part of the story. Because a lot of these different Jakes, even though we're speaking about, you got Jakes that's in position, certain so-called multi-billionaires in these Fortune 500 companies. When everything goes down, they're gonna burn with that company, man. These different enterprises and these buildings that everybody, put their blood, sweat, and tears, it's all gonna come to naught. The only thing that's gonna stand in that day is the word of Yahweh shot, and the men that have been pushing and that's been striving in the same likeness.
Right, bro.
John. This is Philippians, the first chapter. I start at 25. Read down. It says, "And having this confidence, I know that I shall abide and continue with you all for your furtherance and joy of faith, that your rejoicing may be more abundant in Yahweh Mashiach for me by my coming to you again." This is the key point, here 27. "Only that your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of the Messiah, Yahweh Shah, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that ye stand fast in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel." And that's what we're doing. In 2021, the year of the hastening day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, man, we striving together, in the faith of the gospel that was given to us, man. And it says here, verse 28, "And in nothing terrified by your adversaries." We ain't scared of nothing what Esau talking about. Mm-hmm. He talking about, now who was talking, there's going to be another virus, another pandemic that's going to be worse. I will bring it, because it's written that it's supposed to happen. It says, "And in nothing terrified by your adversaries, which is to them an evident token of perdition." Us doing what we do, like we've been saying, this high profile calling is an evident token that they're going down. Woo! It's an evident token that they through. Right. Ain't nothing they can do to stop it. They can't buy us out. They tried to shut the world down, but it backfired, and we still pushing this word. So it's an evident token that they getting ready. They can be a part of there, man. It says, but to you of salvation and that of the Most High, man. So what we're doing with, like the brother quoted, Ephesians 6, we hoping in that salvation through what we're doing, man. And while we hoping for the salvation, Esau knowing that what we're doing is his destruction.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. So, hey, that was it, right? That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. Hey, so with that, we're gonna give all praise to
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Yahushua, Hashem, Rakadash.
Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation and blessing to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four winds of the earth. Shalom.
Shalom.